Hello everyone and welcome to episode 121 of the Cherry Heart podcast. I'm Sandra and this is a crafting podcast where I talk about crochet, knitting and sewing for the most part. You can find the show notes for the podcast on my blog, which is cherryheart.co.uk. That's where I put the pattern names and yarns and information about the things I talk about, and I'll also pop a link for that in the down bar below. You will be able to find me on Instagram as Sandra Cherry HRT, and elsewhere around the web I'm pretty much known as Cherry Heart. So how are you? How have you been? It's a very wet and dismal day here yet again in the UK. We're having a very wet spring, it seems. So I haven't been able to get on with much of my gardening, but that does mean I have made quite good progress on my crafting, so let's get into that. Before I talk about my projects though, I do just want to say that I will be announcing the giveaway winner later in the episode, so remember to stay tuned for that if you entered the giveaway. That will be coming up later. But project wise, let's talk about this one first. So this was in the last podcast, and I said that I had finished it and that the pattern was more or less finished. So this is my Daisy Puffs blanket. I have got that up now. That is up online. I've popped it up on the website. I did do it a few days ago, so you may have seen it, but I haven't sort of I haven't sort of officially launched it in the sense I haven't shouted about it anywhere yet. So I'm telling you here now, and I shall pop it on Instagram. But it's up on Ravelry, it's up on Love Crafts. It's just on those two for now. So you can choose which one of those you prefer. And at some point I may think about putting it on Etsy. Yeah, we'll see how it goes on the first two though, because those platforms are so much easier to deal with. But yes, Daisy Puffs blanket. Yeah, so not much else to say about that because I've told you all about it before, but just the pattern is now out. So that's that one. I don't know whether to go into things I was making before, or yeah, let's go continue. Let's have some continuity and talk about things we were making before. So my Liberty stars I have now finished. So before, they don't look much different, to be fair. Before they were just the naked sort of what's the word? You know, it's just the fabric in the cardboard, but I've put felt backs and hangers on them now. So yeah, I've left the cardboard in for each of the diamonds to sort of give it a bit more stiffness, and then I actually cut out just a piece of card in this star shape to reinforce it as well, because they were still seeming quite flimsy. So I've put those two layers together, and then I've just sewn the fabric to the felt and just cut round the felt and added the loop in between the felt and the fabric. So that's how I've done those. So I've got a nice set for red in the pink. I did show these to you last time actually. So these will all be going on my handmade Christmas tree if you're new here and haven't heard about that. I've decided I want to have a Christmas tree which is entirely filled with just handmade ornaments. So I'm working on a different little project towards that each month, and that is March's project. So yes, quite happy with that. I'm hoping that the next one will be a little bit quicker because the ones I've been making so far have been quite lengthy to make. But yeah, I'm pleased with how those turned out. And actually, while we're on the topic of liberty and sewing, I have another sewing project to show you, which is my water bottle cover. So I had started this, I don't know if I showed it last time because I don't think I'd made any progress, but maybe the time before I had just made I'd assembled the hexagon fabric. So I'd made this bottom bit I'd made a bit that was big enough to cut this top bit out of, and the same for the back. So this is made using Jules' lovely So Sweet Violets pattern. I think it's just called Hexy Hot Water bottle cover, and I think, I can't remember now, in the original pattern I think you have like a decorative side and then a more plain side, but I decided I'd like these hexagons all over, so I did that. The fabric is all Liberty, which I got from Alice Caroline. And the only amendment I made to the pattern, or adjustment I made to the pattern, was that I had some hexagon templates ready, you know, all ready to cut out and to go. So these hexagons are just ever so slightly a different size to the ones that Jules uses in her pattern. But they were close enough, and I still think they look really nice. So yeah, so I had my pieces assembled, so all I had to do was, you know, construct it into this actual water bottle shape. And I really love how it came out. Jules is the best. She has lovely patterns and she does everything so nicely that if you just follow what she says, you get a really good result, which I love. So I've got this nice little striped binding. That's not Liberty, but I thought it would go really nicely, and a cute little flower button which I just had in stash. And then inside I've got my hot water bottle in here ready. Let's just show you, because I actually got a quite nice lining fabric as well. So that's my lining, just little dots, which I thought would be a nice touch, since you are going to, you know, see it a little bit when you fill the hexagon up. No, fill the hot water bottle up. So I thought that I'd made this, and I thought, well, this is typical. Now we're in March, it will start to get nice and I won't need it. But never mind, it'll be there for next year. But actually, last night I could have used one. It's not that cold, but it is a bit chilly. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. I love how that looks. Love the fabrics, love the pattern. Can I say love any more times? So that's all the sewing things. Oh, I haven't talked about this yet, have I? I keep forgetting about this one because it's not on the table in front of me. I've finished my jumper. Let's hop up and show you. So here it is in all of its glory. My first colourwork sweater, I think. Is it? Yes, I think so. Let's just show you the full thing. So this is the Silver Forest pattern, and it's by Jennifer Steinglass, I think. I'll pop it up here. And I used Drops Flora to make it. And if you've seen some of my previous podcasts, you'll see how much hoo-ha and faffing about and agonising I had over the colour work. But now it's all done and it's all blocked, I pretty much love it. And I'm feeling quite impressed with myself, actually. I wasn't when I first finished the colour work. I wasn't feeling very impressed with myself at all. But now the blocking has sort of worked its magic, really. Yeah, it kind of looks alright now it's done, so I'm quite happy with it. And quite inspired to do some more, well, no, that's perhaps an overstatement. Let's say less intimidated by colour work now that I've managed this. Because I have done colour work before. I used to do colour work and not really think that much of it, and it actually came out okay. And then somewhere along the line, I don't know, I just had some bad experiences and things came out horrible, and I just sort of started to think of it as something I couldn't do. But I don't think I have to think like that anymore. I think I can think that it is something I can do, but I think I do need to use the right yarn. So I think one of the things that set me back actually is using both hands and like weaving, you know, tucking the strands in as I went along. I think back a long time ago when I was, you know, more earlier in my knitting career, as it were, and I did do colour work. I was more in the sort of pick it up and wrap it round days, and I would just swap over and do one at a time. so it was very slow, but I think it actually got quite good results for colour work. So I think now that I don't knit like that, and I'm much more I've got a much quicker sort of technique, and I will use both hands, I think that sort of set me back and I had to kind of get better again, if that makes any sense. Anyway, the shorter version of this would be that now I've completed this and I feel like I can at least, you know, tackle some colour work again. I wanted to try something with yarn that was more appropriate. So I have got some yarn with making another project in mind. So it's Knit Picks Palette, which is I've got the fingering weight. I think you can get it in DK as well. So this is 100% Peruvian Highland wool. So I got this from Great British Yarns. It doesn't seem to be in many places in the UK. Well, let's show you all the colours I've got. So I've got a couple of little browns and a grey. Let's put them here so we can see them all. This tea rose pink, nice light blue, and this heathery, oh, why isn't that focusing? There it goes. This sort of heathery, tealy blue, stormy blue. So those are the colours I've got. So I wanted to try a project in some yarn that was more suitable. So I've got 100% wool here. And I was asking for suggestions of my next project because I wanted something that wasn't, you know, I didn't want to do another jumper. I wanted something a bit smaller. But also I do struggle with wool next to my skin. So it can be hard to find a project. So a lot of you suggested mitts, which initially I discounted because of the wool next to the skin. But I ordered this, and actually it feels really, really soft. I mean, even up here, where like is the most sensitive, that actually doesn't feel too bad at all. So that's quite exciting, that a nice sort of softer yarn exists. That sort of opens up quite a lot of avenues. But then I thought, well, I will do mitts then. So I've seen a few patterns that I really like. So there was one by Julie of Little Cotton Rabbits. And she had quite a few colours. So hence I ordered and selected a few sort of colours that I thought could work quite nicely all together. Let's see if I've got the patterns saved to show you actually. Yeah, so they're just called Fair Isle Cuffs. That's those ones. So Julie actually knits hers flat, which was quite tempting in a way. But imagine the ends. Because my concern with knitting quite a small circumference for a mitt is normally I use magic loop, which I like and I prefer, but I don't want to sort of have that trouble of, you know, either ends, having trouble with yarn pulling either ends, because I have tried colour work with magic loop before and it hasn't entirely worked out brilliantly. So there was that, but the ends scared me. So I don't know if I should do DPNs is the thing, but I hate knitting with DPNs. But then I saw these and I was like, wow, they are amazing. Which I thought maybe could work well with this blue as the background, and then maybe either the light blue or perhaps the grey would look really nice. And then I was on Instagram last night and then I saw these, which I also really like. How cute are they? The rabbit is so sweet. Ooh. Yeah, they are also really nice, which I thought maybe might look better in sort of some of the browns or the pink. Maybe the pink. Would that be contrasty enough? I don't know. Maybe the pink and the grey. Or the dark and the light brown could be nice. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what to do, but I am in a quandary about the DPNs. I guess I'm just going to have to use DPNs and just suck it up, I suppose. So next is a project that I'd started last time. So let's show you where I've got to with this. So this was really tiny last time we spoke, and it's my crochet cardigan. Let's go back so we can fit that in. Just try to see what that's focusing on. Yeah, so this is based on those hexagon cardigans. So I've seamed this together now to make the sleeves, so I can't open it out again. But basically this is a big sort of hexagon. When it's, well, it doesn't really go flat, but yeah, when it's opened out, it's a hexagon. So I folded it now, so you make two and you fold them to make this kind of L shape, which is the body and the sleeve. And I've got my other one as well, which is the other side and the sleeve. So that's the kind of basis of the cardigan. So normally these are made with granny squares, but I didn't want that kind of openness, and they're normally made in quite a variety of colours again as well, and again I didn't really want that, so I've just gone for a solid granny square and one colour. So I want this to be the kind of bases, but then the twist of it is I want some little granny squares as a feature on each cuff and around the bottom. So I've got my granny square bits, so this will be one sort of ring for one sleeve, and for the second sleeve, and this will be my bit that goes all the way along the bottom. So that will fold round like that. So I've seamed up my sleeves. Now I'm not quite sure whether I'll need to add some rounds. I think I will need to add some rounds to the sleeves before I then have my squares on, and then there'll be like a cuff. So that's how that will go either side. And then at the bottom, once I've attached these two, I will have, again I might need to add a little bit more length on the bottom, and then I can attach these down here, and then I'll have the, what do you call it, you know, the bottom ribbing bit. So that's my plan. So the yarn I'm using is this Starcraft yarn, which is called Grace. So this is a mohair style yarn. Well, it has got mohair in it actually, 10% mohair, 5% wool, but 85% acrylic, but you know, it looks like mohair, and it's not too prickly, it's not too bad. I wouldn't want a jumper out of it. Well, not something I was going to wear next to my skin, but you know, this is clearly, this is going to be quite big and oversized, so it's going to go over things quite nicely. So I got 3 balls of this oyster colour, but actually this has come together really quickly, and what slowed me down was not having enough. I clearly didn't anticipate quite how much I would need. I wasn't sure because I don't often work in Aran weight, which this effectively is. So the hook size recommended is between 4 to 6 mil. So I'm using a 5 for mine. So yeah, I wasn't quite sure how much yarn it would take to work up. So I've got another 2 balls now, so I can carry on with that, but it feels like I'm almost there in a way already. But yeah, I might faff around. Well, I'll join it together first, then I can try it on, and then I'll get an idea of whether I need to add some more sleeve length or body length before I add my squares. But basically I've just got to add those and some sort of form of cuffs and ribbing and button band type thing. I don't think I'll actually bother with, you know, making buttonholes and everything. I think I'll just have some sort of finish on the front and then leave it. So that's how that one is coming along. And then I have another project which is just about still a whip, but you haven't seen this. This is a testament to the weather and you know what I'm saying about having quite a lot of crafting time. So it's a pair of socks. Doesn't that look attractive? It's a pair of long socks. So So that's the second one. I've made the first one already. So these are inspired. Let's see if we can make them look slightly better. These are inspired by Jules from So Sweet Violet again. I think this was on her Instagram I saw this. She had a post where she had these lovely, I think hers were brown, pair of socks like this anyway, and she was just saying how nice it was to have the longer length sock, and she was wearing them all scrouchy? What's scrouchy? Scrunching, you know, slouchy down. So this kind of effect was going on. Yeah, and it just looked really nice. And I have got pairs of commercially bought socks very similar to this, with the ribbon and the sort of extra length, and I really love them. I absolutely love them, but I've only got a few pairs, so I thought, yes, I could make a pair. And when I finished my jumper, I had plenty of this yarn left over, so I thought, why not use that? I'm just thinking, I don't know that if this has got nylon in, so I don't know how well these will last. Yeah, that's something I probably should have thought about beforehand, but hey ho, here we are. So because these are going further up my leg than I would normally do, actually I could have made these even longer. That's my takeaway from this, because normally my socks would come to there, I suppose. So I haven't got that much more. Anyway, yeah, so normally when my socks come to there, I cast on 72. Do I? Yeah. I cast on 72 and then I go down to 64 after the ribbon and for the rest of the sock. So for this one I cast on 76 and went down to 68 after the ribbon. And I don't know if, can you see? Yeah, a couple of the ribs I made a little wider. So I've gone 2 by 2, but some of them are 3 by 2, and then I've decreased that extra stitch out sort of along this back area here till I'm back down to where I would be around the ankle. But just because they're going up to a wider part of my leg, I just wanted to have a little bit more give in the ribbing and just a little bit more fabric to go around my leg, because I haven't got a very nice slim shapely ankle. I've got quite, you know, fat ankles. Well, the ankles themselves aren't fat, but my calves don't come in, they just sort of stay. Yeah, they're weird shape. Yes, but because I'd run out of this and that was on hold, I wasn't doing that, and I'd finished this, so these have been the easiest thing to pick up and knit, and you know, something you don't have to think about it. The pattern's so intuitive that, you know, I can switch off my brain in terms of knitting thinking and just chat to my daughter, or you know, we discuss whatever it is we're washing and things. So that's been a nice easy project to pick up, and I think I'm going to kind of miss them when they're done. So I may make another pair. I think I've got some beige yarn that might do for another pair. So I think that's all I've got to show you. So the only thing to do now is to go back to the Moorit giveaway and announce the winner. Now I actually recorded this earlier while I had the winner pulled up, so I'll put that in now. Let's announce the Moorit winner. So last time I mentioned I had a copy of Moorit to give away, which I'll put a picture in here because I didn't bring it up with me and it's wet and I don't want to go and get it. Yes, so this magazine, I meant to say actually that it's published by Alison, who is one half of the Keep Calm and Carry Yarn podcast. A couple of you mentioned that you watch it, and I watch it too, and I do really enjoy it. So yeah, that's Alison, who is a crocheter, and she podcasts with her mum Vivian, who is a knitter, so you get a nice combination of the crafts there. But yeah, Keep Calm and Carry On, that's a podcast recommendation for you as well. But anyway, I need to draw the winner, so I did that before I started. It's Vicky Stockley. Congratulations, Vicky, you are our winner of a lovely copy of Moorit. If you would like to contact me, my details are on my Cherry Heart blog, so cherryheart.co.uk. If you just go to the contact page and just send us an email, and I can arrange for that magazine to be sent off for you. Congratulations again. And just to say one more time, I covered this last time, and ironically I actually had some of these spammy people that, you know, try and con you into giving you the details. I actually had a few of them littering my channel, and luckily quite a few of you messaged me to say, and I had actually seen them popping up in comments. Yeah, so it'll be a fake account, and it'll probably have Cherry Heart in there, and they'll steal my logo so it kind of looks like me, but just be really careful that you do read that name, because this one was called, it was something like Cherry Heart, contact me at Telegram. You know, that's obviously not my username. My username is just Cherry Heart. You know, no dots, no dashes, no underscores. So yeah, just make sure you keep an eye on that, and if it's a giveaway, I'm not going to contact you in the comments. I'm not going to, you know, reach out to you in DMs or anything like that. I'm announcing it on here, and I'm asking the winner to contact me on here, and that's all I will do. So if anyone contacts you in comments and is saying, you know, get in touch via Telegram or give me payment details, I'm not asking for money. I don't want anything like that from you, so that won't be me. So yeah, the only thing I'm saying on here is to that one person who's won, and they know now how to contact me. So that's it. But yeah, be careful. Apparently they're very rife, so look out for those. I think my lighting has completely changed since I recorded that, because it's raining even more here and looks even darker and grimmer, but never mind. But yes, you've already seen the incoming goodies. The only other thing I have to tell you is a project I'm about to make, and I got this for Christmas, which is the Springerling felt decoration set, and that's by Sarah Edgar of Pretty Fabrics and Twin Trims. So yeah, so that was a Christmas present. I've kind of been holding off this a little bit for it to feel a bit more spring-like and nice and sunny, but if I wait too long, spring will be gone. So, and I want to hang these. I have a little Easter tree, or well, a few twigs that I stick in a thing, a jug, and put some Easter decorations on, but I wanted to put these on my Easter tree, so I thought if I don't get on with them, they won't be ready for that. So yeah, so I'm going to start sewing those. There's nothing to show you. This has got all the felt and bits I need in here, but I haven't done anything at all yet. So hopefully I'll have something to show you on that next time. So that's it from me. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have liked it and want to give me a thumbs up, that would be very nice. If you want to see the next episode, you can click subscribe, and if you want to get a notification when I post new videos, you can click on the bell. But until then, I hope you have some lovely, calm, quiet, peaceful crafting moments, and I'll see you soon. Bye! Yes. Whoa! Can't talk.